Hello friends, this is the screencast I promised you yesterday. I'm going to cover here everything that I covered in class yesterday. So we're just going to hop in and get right to it. I'm operating on a Mac. If you're on a PC, the commands are similar, but not exactly the same. Here we go. If you want to open Finale and it's in the dock, you just click it and it will open. Now you see I've already got mine open. I wanted to save some time on load-in. On Mac, you can Command Spacebar and type in Fin, and that will work just fine. As I've already got it open, I'm just going to go to Finale and Launch Window, because when you first open Finale, this is what you'll typically see. So when you see this, you just click Setup Wizard. Engraved style is fine. The page sizes we talked about yesterday, because if you want a different score size, you might go for tabloid here, but then the part size is going to be 8.5 by 11. All right, so just going to leave it at 8.5 by 11 for now. We click Next. We add a Grandstaff. Now, let me show you very quickly why what we do with this vertical space thing that we talked about yesterday. Let's go back and look at, say, we're gonna write something for a full concert band. 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 11. Next. Now here's all the families, and now in this template there's no vertical space. So what I like to add is after the families. So here are your woodwinds. All right, I'm going to go to alto sax, because for me, alto sax is a little different. Add vertical space, baritone sax, space, 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 and there we go. Now we click Next. No, I'm not going to save the changes. I'm not going to do any of this right now. I'm not going to do any of this, because what I want you to see is the vertical space issue. Now see, that's the actual size. But Finale is going to automatically reduce the score so it all fits on one page. See that? That's kind of neat. And here's your vertical space. Now I'm at 200% right now. Now you can imagine if there were notes on this thing, the conductor would just want to murder you in the face. So that's why we don't do scores of this type on 8.5 by 11 really ever. So we're just not going to save this right now. We're going to go back to our launch window, Setup Wizard, Engraved Style, Grandstaff, Add, Next. We're going to add the title, Scratch Melody File, and then it's going to say from, oops, we're going to type correctly. We're going to say from fall 2019. The composer is going to be my name. The arranger is going to be my initials. The lyricist is going to be my first name. We're going to copyright Best Songs Ever, LLC, ASCAP. Okay, now I want you to look here, because this is often what happens. If you're just tabbing through from window to window, and you tab here and you type something, oh, there went the copyright symbol. On a Mac, it's easy to get there. It's Option G. And you say 2019 Best Songs Ever, LLC, ASCAP. Click Next. Here at the top, you can select from your different time signatures. We're going to stay in 4/4, and we're going to start in C major. To change the key signature, you would just go up for sharps, down for flats, and choose major or minor over here. But we are going to start in C major. We're going to specify our initial tempo marking, and we're going to call it Epic Rock at 115 beats a minute. We're going to finish. Okay, and you see here that this is the score, as it says right here. And all of this information here at the top and this information here at the bottom is stuff that we put into our song info when we're setting it up. Okay, here's the composer right here. Here's the lyricist. Here's the arranger, and here's the lyricist. Here's the title. Here's the subtitle. Here's the initial tempo marking, and here's the copyright information. Now, for now, just real quickly, I want to show you the part issue. I want to remind you how this is done, because as I mentioned yesterday, I don't like this pagination. For my personal house style, I don't like this pagination approach. So I get rid of this. I go to the Scratch Melody file, the title box. And you see it's gray. That's Finale letting you know that this is not something that you typed in. This is something that's auto-populated. So I'm going to space, open parentheses, text, inserts, and what I'm going to put here is the part and score name. I'm going to close the parentheses, space dash space, PG period, that's page, and I'm going to go back to text, insert, page number, space of, page, space, total pages. So here, all of this stuff is also auto-populated. So if this part has 2 pages and another part has 4 pages, this will auto-populate. But now I look at this and I go, oh, this is not what I want to call this at all. I don't want to call it Scratch Melody file because it's a whole bunch of things. I want to call it, and you can go to Window, Score Manager to open up all that information we put in at the beginning. I'm not going to call it Scratch Melody file. I'm going to call it Scratch Melodies file. And look what happens. It automatically changes. Now what about part 1? Well, because this is a braced staff, it's actually a group. So we go back to Score Manager, and right here, we type in the full name that we want it to have, Piano 1, OK, bam, and there it is, there, here, right? Now what about right here? Why did this not change? Well, we come here to Document, Manage Parts, it says Piano 1. I'm going to edit the part name just to make sure. I'm going to say Piano 1, OK, OK, and it's not, there we go. Now it changed. See, so that auto-populates. Now, and that's all we'll talk about this for now. So now we're going to go back to edit score, and now you look at the top here, this says score, and we want to get out of page view and into scroll view. There are a couple of ways to do that. You can Command E to toggle back and forth between the two. All right, so this is page view, scroll view. Or you can go to View, Page View, View, Scroll View. Okay? Now, to enter notes, remember 4, 5, and 6 on your number pad are going to be your most frequently used buttons. 4 is eighth notes, 5 is quarter, 6 is half. But to continue on the idea, and I'll show you here what I mean, I'm going to turn off my speedy entry MIDI device for input because I don't have a MIDI keyboard with me right now. But I just want to show you something. So here's eighth notes. That's 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, right? So that's all eighth notes. Here's quarter notes. Half notes. 3 is 16th notes. Now that looks terrible, right? But if you click out, Finale will automatically space it out for you. 7 is whole notes. Can we go beyond that? Yes, we can. Look, an 8 is a double whole note. Why would you use that? Well, if you were writing medieval music, you use it all the time. But what about smaller increments? Well, the number 2 is 64th notes. I'm sorry, 32nd notes. So you have number 3 is 16ths, 32nds. What about number 1? Now this is just me holding the number down. And if you do that, whether you're using a MIDI keyboard or not, it will still work that same way. Now we don't need all this for now. So I'll just take my measure tool, select from here, and delete. Okay. All right, so again, this is from the perspective of someone who doesn't have a MIDI keyboard with them. But if you're using a MIDI keyboard, the ideas are the same. I'm going to use 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to open up with this opening lick of This Is Amazing Grace in C. And it starts just like this. And it's all eighth notes and quarter notes. Now I need a rest there. So I enter the note, shift, delete. Shift, delete. And that's all I have for that melody idea. So I'm going to say, okay, that's the end of that one for now. I'm going to select my measure tool right here. Click the last measure, double click it, and enter a solid line to say, that's all I have. Because if I were to enter, say, a double bar line, what I'm telling myself, again, this is in my personal sketch ideas, this is one part of the song, and this next part is going to be another part of the same song. But this is all I have now, so I'm going to type solid. Boom, done. Now the next thing I'm going to type in is that one line we sang yesterday. Ba, da. Just like that. Just that easy, right? So how did I get there? Again, you've got the dot and you've got the equal sign. So the first note is a dotted quarter. So you have a quarter. There's a dot right underneath the 3. The E is on the end of 2. You tie it with the equal sign that's above the 8. Add a quarter, quarter, whole note. Just that easy. And that's all I have for that. Final, solid, boom. And then let's say that I say to myself, that's exactly what I want, but it's too high. Well, I consider the key that I'm in, which is C. The F is on the 4, right? That's the 4 of C. Now I could also just select the whole thing and say I wanted an A, right? So I select A, major, but instead of transposing notes up, which causes this to happen, if it was too high before, it's definitely too high now. I'm going to select A, and I'm going to transpose notes down, just like that. Now, why do I have this key signature here and this key signature here? The reason for that is I selected more than one measure, and right here, I said measure 5 to the next key change. But if I have 2, say I do this, it's measure 5 through 6. But I could also just say measure 5 to the next key change, and now, oops, I forgot to change the key. Right, that's 5 and 6, but if I change to A and measure 5 to the next key change, I'm now working in A in all this region as well. Okay, I need to show you one more thing, because some of these melodies are in a different meter. So what if you need to change the time signature? You just go to your time signature tool right here, and you click on the measure where you want to start the new time signature. You double click it, and the time signature window opens up. Whatever you were in, typically, or at least it used to be, I haven't really thought to think this through, but if you're in 4/4, you're going to be in 4/4. If you were in 3/4, you'd be in 3/4. But let's say you want to write this new section in 3/4. You would just change the number of beats. There it is. If you want to write in 3/8, there you go. Now, what if you want to write in something like 12/8? Well, this is a really a neat thing that Finale has added over the past several years. 12/8 is really 4/4 with a triplet feel, right? So your beat duration is going to be a dotted quarter note, boom, 12/8. So now when you go in and you type in these things, see, Finale will always add those rests to complete the measure for you. So now again, I'm in A, so I need to, oops, I thought I was still in C. So now you would write, and there it is. In that melody, bam. Now that should be everything you need to know. There are a couple of items in that melody sheet that I've given you to transcribe, sorry, not transcribe, to enter, that you're going to have to do some research on. I'm not going to count it off hugely if you miss those, but let's see what you can do. Thanks, and I will see you guys next Wednesday.